Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 7 of MechE Plays Satisfactory. In this episode, we really hope to get this factory up and running. There's really not a whole lot more to do. All of this is pretty much piped in. We still got to pipe into these containers, and we do need to probably consider adding an overflow container for iron. There's going to come a point when we'll be needing that, so let's just add that in. We're not going to pipe it up, but we will get his through hole. And conveyor into place. That way we're ready to rock and roll when the time does come. Alright, so let's get to it. So we gotta get down into that level 2 logistics, which is this door here. As you can see, we've got everything piped up for the inflows, except with the exception of these guys here. I know that it produces, if I remember correctly, it produces 2 of those smart plates per minute. Let's take a look here. Just be sure. Parts. And it takes a see here. Yeah, it's going to produce 2, so we're going to need to have 2 of those roll up, and the rest will go into inventory. So how we're going to work this is there's actually a really simple plan here for how this works. We're going to have our merger. And what this merger is going to do is it's going to run over here, it's going to drop the material in. Once that fills up, it's just going to send everything out and back down to get remerged back up with the main line. So let's see here, I think. Ooh. It's just facing the wrong way though. Okay, there's that guy. Oh, this one's off by quite a bit. Let's try to get that right. You know, I'm probably angering someone's OCD there, but no, that's not what we want. Okay, we need to make sure. Okay, so for some reason it thinks that we're intaking. That's not what we're doing at all. This one is an output, so we need to go up there and fix it. Let's make sure we just do all of these to be safe than sorry. Okay, there we go. Yep, this is the second time in this game that it's rained, but it's also the second time that it's done it in this particular day of the game. Oh, come on. we go. Let's see if that has fixed this problem. That's not good. Oh, wrong button. Okay, so once again, we gotta go up there and fix it, because I guarantee you it's been deleted. Okay, cat, this is not a good spot to stand up. You can lay down if you want. Yes, my cat is laying here on my chest. He wants some attention. Yep, that's what I figured happened. It's very typical and very easy for that to happen when you are dealing with a conveyor coming down to the floor, or even going up for that matter. Okay, so these look like they're already bridged, and now we don't need any special conveyors here, because truth is, there's not a whole lot going on. So not a whole lot of material gonna be moving through here. So we're gonna have our splitter. Okay, and the idea here is that we have this material come down. That does line up perfectly. And actually, this one here, I want it turned 90 degrees. I don't want to risk this because they're so close together here. We'll turn this one to face this way. This will be steel. This will be, actually, yeah, this will be rotors. This will be reinforced plate. So a little bit of misalignment here. Okay, so let's have our 8. That should be close enough. So we can see now we're getting this all piped up just right. These are our outputs for rotors. Same thing, we're going to have them combined into one line. They'll hit here, and the rest of them will then head for their cargo container. This one's going to take the inner. The rotors will take the outer. Okay, so that's a mistake. This is supposed to be a splitter, not a merger. Make sure we did the same thing over here, which we did. So we'll have to fix that one too. The idea is that we split off. It comes down, it splits off, it rotates out. The leftovers take the leftovers get thrown in this direction. That's a perfect fit. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have, let's see here, we're going to try actually. We need to drop this conveyor belt for a time. You can always put it back in later. This is the merger side of things, but first let's drop in our ceiling connectors. We only need one merger. Drop that second one in there. That'll give us an idea just how far off we are. Okay, that worked out. Let's reconnect that line. We will need more of these. Actually, this is not a line that really requires it. We're out of iron plate. So we have to go down and get some iron plate. But this is going to complete this section of the factory. The only objective we now have left after this is the demolition of all this equipment down here. And the activation of all the equipment on the floors above. Otherwise, it's coming along quite nicely. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. So we're going to have Yes, this is a very this stuff can be rather complex. So do keep this stuff and keep that in mind when you're building your factories. That yes, things can get very complex very quickly with these conveyor systems. And not everybody's going to get along with that the same. I know I have no issues with it, but then again, look what I do for a living. You know, I'm a mechanical engineer. I get to deal with systems like this on a daily basis, so it honestly shouldn't be any surprise to you that I see these type of things and just go, oh, yeah, that's how this works. So this is our iron one. Those are other two. So now we got that one already hooked up. All right, so that's everything on this level. Everything's hooked up. We just need to do some cleanup work here. And you know, let's actually make this right and prep this for when we're gonna put that splitter in. So that way, all we have to do is come down here and drop the line in place. Alright. Here we go. So there we go. We've now got this factory ready to rock and roll. So now the first objective is going to be we got to start getting everything cleared out. So let's see here. How much room do we have here? Let's store everything in here that we can. We're going to need a... let's take the iron rods. We're going to need those. We're going to drop a cargo container here for everything that's in our inventory right now. Okay? I mean, everything. Okay, so we don't want anything in our inventory that's going to be spared up. And this is bad news, because it looks like our screw line has been fully produced. So let's actually come over here and stop the inflow of materials from the miner. So this is the new facility. We're not going to worry about that. We don't want to be overzealous here. We don't want to delete something by mistake. Primarily our power lines. We've got to make sure that we keep that one... that we keep all the power that's heading through this particular part of the base up and running. Things are now starting to get quiet. As we now begin our disassembly process. Now I gotta see if I have enough room. I got a cargo container over there I have to worry about. If I click on my inventory, which is, it's not Q, it's this one. Yeah, we're about half full. So we don't want to touch this guy. And luckily we don't have to. And with the materials we've collected just from tearing this system down, we should have enough to build, basically to build everything we need to run up the next level. So okay, so let's have a look at our power situation here. So we got this power pole running through. We're just going to leave this the way it is. It's not going to cause any interference. Actually, these ones will, so let's have a look and make sure that because that's what I thought, right? This whole system out here is being powered by these lines, so we need to make sure that we provide an alternate path for now. Because we're going to be demolishing some lines to make room for the new inputs, so we don't want to leave things without power. That will power everything up in this direction. That keeps power up and running over this way, so let's get started. So I'm going to build this to have 3 inputs, because we may very well expand to that point where we pull all 3 in. So there's this guy. This guy will run into this one, run around the corner and head that way. So let's get that started up now. Perfect. We're going to have this guy come in here. It'll pipe to here. So these 4 go to these 4, so what we're going to do here, let me take a look here. Yeah, these are separated further apart. So we'll have them run down, they'll Z back up. Okay, there's that. Now let's do the same thing over here. That cargo container over there could stay for a while. That's gonna work out just fine. There's this for. And these four, these are our inputs. So this is going to be our splitter line. And this is the last bit of logistics that we really have to do to turn this factory on. So there's 3, 4. We're going to have the same problem over here. We're going to split. Except this time it's going to be this way. Actually, make sure. This goes up, comes down, then goes up. So, yeah, this is going to be a split as well. Anytime we're going up, it's a split. It's to make sure. Make sure we get these guys all attached. Same thing over here. So this is doing it again. We need to go up to the floor. Need to go up to our logistics floor, or up to our production floor, and swap those out to be right. Okay. Well, I have it right. I just forgot that that's the other way. It's the other way around. Okay, I have to remember that. So I've got it backwards. many tickets do we have here at the sink? 2, so... This is actually our merger line. That's wonderful. It's doing that again. Did I have any others that did that? No. Let's go fix that before I forget it. Because I will forget it. I've done that before already once. And there it is. Okay, so now we are we're basically set in motion to begin production with that facility, which it's a good thing. So I'm about to make another stack. I'm gonna want to stack another container on top of that. I want to get as much of this into that as possible. So this is an output, an input, and an output. So this is our splitter. And these lifters are wrong. Well, it's good to know. We're still having issues with that because the game can't seem to recognize that you're doing that. So it's really something that they need to work on. Okay, well, let's hope that got it right. Let's just delete these. We put them in. Okay. So let's have the tier 2 belts that go between these. We're going to have this one run up. You see we're once again out of reinforced steel plate. Pretty soon here we're going to have a factory building them, so we won't have an issue with that anymore. Oh, that's not going to be enough, so we're going to have to pull some from inventory. And actually there probably is, I would say probably a few in this cargo container, so let's have a look-see here. Yeah, there's 17 in here. pull those out. Let's pull the iron plates out. Make ourselves some more of these real quick. I mean, we don't need very many more. Pretty soon here, we'll have a factory that'll be doing it for us. But until we get to that point, we have to build these manually. And whilst we're here, let's start the next milestone. And that should be enough for now. We're going to drop the jump pads milestone. That way we know what we need. We see rotors. We see rotors, iron plate, and cable. Okay, that one's connected up for now. Let's get our mergers in place. Okay. Our Mark II conveyors. You see we've run out of reinforced plate again. And we're going to need quite a bit more because we need to come by this miner here up to this node. But once we have that in place, our next objective will begin. We'll begin to work toward the phase 1 of the space elevator and the jump pads milestone. And then we can start focusing on what's needed in the next phase, or what's needed on the next from the next tier, which I hope, but if I remember correctly, I think the first thing will be coal. So we do need coal. We want to get that up and running so that we can have coal power. That way we're not running off of biofuel here. Biofuel becomes our backup power facility at that point. But I don't know what the condition is in this area of the world. So it's one of those things that I have to consider, is that I don't know where the coal resources are here, and I don't know how close they are to water, which those two things are important when it comes to dealing with coal power. Okay. Let's pop this guy out. And steel plate too, so let's grab some of that. This container will always just be sitting here with plate until it's empty. We're not getting rid of it until Alright, so that basically concludes this facility being built up. Let's get back on over here and let's see if we have a portable miner over at our base. Over in our storage up here. If we do, then we can go ahead and build the mining facility that we need. Let's take a look here. We have 2. Perfect. So let's see here. Let's have it go this way. Let's have that Mark II belt. Hang on here. There we go. Oh, I see. We ran out of concrete. That's the one thing that you gotta remember about these type of construction projects, people. They really do take up the resources. So we're gonna send this straight on up here. Really no need to play the game. Okay, we need another 15. We need just a few more of these. Okay. And then we can connect that guy to power. That should be enough. Alright. And that will do it. We're going to drop a pole here. Power to you. And that should do it. This facility should be in full gear now. Let's go and power it up. Let's first take a look here. Our current load is 131 megawatt. And we are producing how many? Our max, so we can max is 300, and we're right now at 131. 136 max. So, and we can max produce 300. Let's see how much this new grid's going to require before we connect it up so that we don't trip a breaker the second we turn it on. Well, that's going to trip a breaker the second we turn it on. So we need to add 4 more biomass burners over here. How are these coming along, by the way? Almost empty. So we got a little bit of work we got to do here. We got to clear cut some forest. And this has to happen before we bring the new plant online, bring the new section online, new part of the factory online, because we will crash. These 10 cannot handle the load that we're going to throw at it, so and trust me, we are really about to throw a whole crap ton of this at it. So let's make sure that we get that in there. Keep the rest for our chainsaw. And everything pretty much is in our inventory except for with the exception of with the exception of our reinforced plates, is going into the sink. So let's get that all squared away while we're over here. Let's actually put a bunch of this into the sink. I'm not going to throw, actually I will throw a bag of concrete in there. Sort it, please. Sort it, please. Okay. Okay, so we need to go cut some forest down. I was really hoping not to have to worry about this, but we are running out of biofuel. We've really spent a lot of time building the factory, so a lot of time building the factory and not enough time really trying to progress forward beyond that. But that is about to change. We are now at a point where we will begin. We are going to begin trying to progress forward once more. So we'll be moving away from biofuel and toward coal. Looks like we're nearby where we were dropped in. 416. Yes, we're just running through, cutting as much down as we can. Because if we bring that new factory online, we're going to trip a breaker. And I might be able to get away with running the biomass plants on the hub, which is what we're probably going to do in order to conserve the materials for other things. We don't want to build another. I really don't want to build any more biomass burners if I can help it, especially considering that coal is coming, but we do need to make sure that we have more than a 10-minute inventory for electricity. Okay, I'm going to go until I get 1,000 wood. Wood.
Picking up multiple fix-it personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late.
And that there should put us We're full. Okay, so perfect. That's perfect. This one's a leaves container. Alright, so now we've got biomass being produced again. Which that should begin to refill this container. Meanwhile, that container I built over by the hub, we can go drop the rest of this garbage that we picked up, these flowers in there, because right now we don't really have a need for those. So let's drop them in this container. This will clear up some inventory space. Okay. And let's take the rest of this stuff, along with the biofuel. I'm not going to leave that behind too. Alright. So I'm going to build 2 more biomass burners over there. It'd be wise to consider that, to have at least 2 more, maybe 4 more. Actually, let's make it 4 more. I mean, these are going to be backup after all, once the coal facilities are online. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. So 4 more. That. And now there's that. Okay. So it's going to be a while before we get there. You can see this grid needs 136. And the new grid, I believe, is 190. 191, so that's definitely going to overdo the 300 that's on this grid right now. This grid's capable of 300. 190 plus 136 is somewhere in the 320s, 330s. So we do need to get this up and running before we can actually put it into Kahoot, before we can kaput it. So, and these guys are capable of producing me 30 megawatts. So if I can get just 2 of those up and running, it will run that facility. But we really need to consider the options here. So like I say, I've got this cargo container here. This guy is producing $120. This guy here is producing 60. 300. So this one here is outproducing what our conveyors can handle. This guy needs 120 to put out 60, so we're going to split the line. I got a stack of 200. Alright, so I want to split the line. I want to put another one of these here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this line. Yep, we're going to get rid of this cargo container. We're going to have this line come into here, and this line will come into here. You saw a biofuel. Okay, so now we're going to double our output of this and get that factory up and running a little bit faster. That is going to tax another 4 megawatts of demand on the grid, so we went from 136 to 140, which means that, yes, we are approximately 31 short of being able to actually run that facility. But once we get like 7 or 8 logs of those in there, we'll be in good shape. And while we're doing that, we can begin working on these, getting these cargo containers of screws taken care of, because we're not going to need those anymore. Let's go offload everything into here. Store everything for now. I'm going to start with the upper container. We're going to take it all. We're going to store it all. Now, we're not going to be able to get everything in there, so we'll store what remains back in the cargo container. It's going to be a slow process of moving one thing from here to there. We're trying to get as many tickets as we can. Let's have a look and see what our next items are going to be. Yes, I think that one's next. And then the ceiling mounts as well. And possibly a wall mount. I don't know if we can build this one yet because we might be missing some technology. The foundations, I think we're fine for now. Walls, we want to try to unlock these windows, but the thing is that we don't have any silica research. So maybe some gates and some steel frame windows. That way we can at least have something. If I look at architecture, these barriers would be good. The stairs would be good. Some of these catwalks would be good. Customizer, concrete floor, I think that's not a bad idea. Ooh, glass roof material, steel roof material, tar roof material. We got here factory icon patterns. Okay, so there's quite a bit of things that we can go for here. Specials, I'm not worried about that. Equipment. And definitely not worried about parts. I wouldn't be scrapping parts to get more parts unless it's something that I'm struggling to manufacture. Okay, let's go to our cargo container. Let's sort. You can see that we're out of reinforced iron plate again. Well, let's build another 15 to 20 of these. It's always good to have a bunch of these in our back pocket. We're really not going to need to be making any more of these because we've got the facilities now to build more. And they're going to be going live this episode. 15 should be enough. They will be going live this episode. So this episode we're going to begin working toward getting the space elevator achievement and our last milestone for this tier, for tier 2, to hit tier 3. Which will move us into tier 3, so those two things are needed for that. We need to have our last milestone, the jump pads, completed, and we need to complete phase 1 of the space elevator in order to move up. So let's see how this is doing. Alright, so I'm going to say, because I've got 4 stacks here, power it up. I got 177 in here. Do I have a big enough stack to make a whole lot? I don't. So we will let that go as it is. And ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Oh, that's a power pole. That's a suck. That power pole's full. I declare this factory hereby and henceforth open. All the machinery now is connected. So if I click on this power pole, that's not connected to grid. So we should see well, somewhere probably over there actually. So nothing is moving. Well, let's go up to level 2 and make sure everything is connected right. Okay, I see the problem. Everything up here's got power now. Everything. So it's probably the problem is, yep. That's probably the problem over here too. Okay. So if we stay up on this floor, we should start seeing the next piece of equipment moving, which now we're starting to see that happen over here on the iron side. We see iron plates being carried upstairs. That's good news. Have we hit it over here yet? Nothing over here is moving yet. I hear some noise. And that's our steel line. So let's go take a look and see what's happening on this level 1. Make sure everything's going right there. Well, this explains the problem. Okay, so I screwed it up again. Alrighty, there we go. Now we're starting to see it. Now we're seeing it going up the conveyors. That's the next thing we gotta make sure is that it's going up the conveyors. Each of these lines gets 60 a minute, so we are seeing it go up the conveyors. Now the big question is are we seeing rods come out? Yes, we got rods rolling out this one. And I see rods up there. Of course, we're not going to see any screws rolling out because those are going to roll out onto level 3. So let's go make sure everything's rolling out up there correctly. And I see screws. There's good news. And I see a ton of iron plate rolling up here. That's good news. This line's not produced one screw. We need to go have a look at that. I see screws over there. But I don't see screws here, so I need to go have a look downstairs and make sure that that's not created, that we don't have an issue along those lines. So these three. Okay, so we got those three now. We need to go down to the logistics floor. And make sure those are producing what they're supposed to. Maybe they're not hooked up, I don't know. We're gonna find out. If they're not hooked up, we'll take care of it. We're getting... It could just be the fact that it just hasn't reached that far yet. I mean, there are 9 of them on the same belt, right? It should be a pretty full line by the time it gets to here. Now, it's not the fault that those ones aren't producing yet, it's just we haven't gotten that far yet. So what I'm going to do is go prime those pumps. And the ones that I want to prime are the ones at the front of the line. Let's prime them all. We've got the iron rod to do it, so we're gonna do it. This guy here has been producing iron rod since the start of the series, so might as well put it to work. What's our time looking like, huh? We got another 15 minutes in this video. So the reason why we prime the front three, the front of them, the front first, okay, something's going on here. And something's going on here. I've got screws sitting up there, so I gotta go check out logistics floor 4. And make sure things are hooked up right. Okay, so I've primed these all up. And we're seeing that it's stopping, so that tells us that something's not right on the floor above us. And of course, all the way back down to the floor we go. Which is why we're putting in a staircase. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look here. So these three are not giving us anything. What is this? Is this a merger? It's a merger. Okay. What about... Oh, you know... I guess I need to check all these. Some of them didn't attach like they're supposed to. And what seems to be the... Oh. Yeah. That would be a problem, alright? Attach. Okay, and this right here, this... Okay, so that's perfect. We actually didn't even have to really go that far. We already loaded it up, so... we might as well drop this now. And we're just going to wire that on over. We're not going to care what it looks like. Alright, so... if we go upstairs, we should be seeing... I should be seeing well. Yeah. Let's see if we can just pop that through. Eight. I don't like it. It clips into the rail. So if this is backwards, we gotta fix it. Huh. Come on, get up there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So this is a separator, splitter. Intake them over there. I hope it just takes it, but we're gonna find out here. This is where we really begin to find out if everything's working right. Which it's not, so F. Now it is. Okay. So we should see now we should begin seeing product rolling down here. We already see, yes, we've got one coming this way. So we are seeing rotors come down this way now. That's good. I may go 10 to 15 minutes over on this episode. Well, that's not going to help anybody. Oh, well. Oh, that's wonderful. That's just wonderful. Let's hope that that didn't delete what I think it deleted. It didn't. Okay, good. Oh, it did. And we're now seeing the first fruits of our labor here. We are now officially in this new little tiny tower of a factory. We now have ourselves a production line. And pretty soon here, we will see this guy kick into gear if it hasn't already. It probably has, and don't even realize it. No, it hasn't. It hasn't received any materials yet. So we need to make sure this guy is receiving everything right. Because we need those smart platelets. We want those smart plates because, well, we want to get off coal power. So let's go have a look and make sure everything there is running green. Okay, she's got a conveyor. This one here is inserted in. So what we should see a rotor pop off this line. Like this guy here, it should come in. And one should go through and the other one should not. Just in case they're not, we're going to okay, so we will put in a observer here. So one came this way, the one should go up now. Let's have a look. That one was fed up. So that rotor came through here. Which means the next one should go up. Just gotta wait for it to come out. This one's connected, right? Well, I am kind of glad I'm doing some routine checks here because the game is not liking me today. Okay, that one is sending him up, so That means we should begin to see the production. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to this one because I don't trust this one now. Uh-huh. As I suspected. Alright. We know this one's producing rotors or sending rotors out, so... Alright. It looks like this first factory is up and running. Which means that sometime within the first 30 minutes or so of tomorrow's episode, or I wouldn't say tomorrow, the episode that I'm going to do on Saturday. Okay, we already got some iron putting into here. We should be in great shape, so we can begin working. And I'm going to begin working on this. I'm going to actually start fulfilling the order for the fulfilling the order for the hub. There's not much we really could do for the other portion right now. We just don't have enough materials. But now we don't have to worry about building reinforced plate. We let this factory do it for us. We'll probably have to add another line later, which we do have enough, but we'll do that when we get coal. Okay, so... we're almost to that one's point. Perfect. Let's see just how the power's doing. We are consuming 331, so I was right on the dot about, hey, this isn't going to be enough. So, plus we've got this guy running right now too, so... It's actually, yeah. So... the reason why we're doing that is because, like I said, like this. Look at this line stopped. This line up here, not quite there yet, but it's gonna get there. So those are things we want to put up into our, our sink. We've got so much of it, we might as well sink some of it. Store all that. And it's kind of like our screws over there, so we'll start with this. Let's take all this one. We'll let the other one stay full for now. Okay. So yeah, we're producing tickets now like crazy. That makes me happy. We got all these lines up and running. Let's go see how concrete's doing. This is one of our most important lines here. It's about a third full. That's a little over a third full. It makes me happy to see that. And that's more than enough to build the concrete factory when it comes. We're going to leave these 2 cargo containers here. This is our rod supply and iron supply for the time being. Alright. Let's go see how many of those smart plates we've got. Is it smart? Is it what they called? I know it's smart plate, but it might be more to the name than just a smart plate. Smart plating. Let's go see if we got any of that in storage. And then we can bring that down here and put that in the space elevator, and we will call it there. I'd expect this episode to release probably early Friday morning. Oh, we got 9 of them. We got 9. It looks like it's being held up by rotors, so let's go take a look at what's going on with our rotor line. See if we got any in storage. This one's got 1 rotor in storage. No rotors in storage, so okay, this one here can get a charge of rods. Let's go get some rods and charge these guys up. That way we can and yes, I'm just gonna drop down onto the miner. It's barely high enough. To make a difference. We're also going to want to go pick up our materials that we dropped in the bin. Seeing as we are now at a point so if I go drop these in there, that's going to really start to mass produce those rotors at a higher rate. And we're only supplying them with 40 rods, and I think they need 30 each, which means that we need 60 up here. And we're only supplying them with 30, they need 40. So let's go look and see if that's really true. It might be more. If it's more, then we gotta, then that's gonna be part of tomorrow's episode. Will be to of the next, excuse me, part of the next episode. So 200, 200, perfect. How's this doing? Well, this isn't having any issues. They're running at 49% and 51% respectively. How many screws are you guys requiring? 60. Let's have that end be like that. Go to the logistics floor and we'll upgrade the ones for the screws. Oh no! And then we'll be getting ready to call it a night here. Okay, so we need these Mark II belts. Well, there's the problem. Yeah, there's the problem. Yeah, there's a Mark 1 built in the middle of my Mark 2 system. Mm-hmm. And that's going to cause all sorts of logistics error issues. That's why this guy's going so slow. Okay. Okay, that should fix a lot of the issues they're having. We want more rotors and more... We definitely want more rotors and more plates per minute. Oh no, let's not drop all the way to the ground. Let's go take a look and see if that fixed some of our issue. And then we're going to be getting ready to call it a night here. The screws is what was holding us up, so let's have a look here. I hit E. The screws are not holding this line up anymore. Screws are not holding this one up anymore. It's the iron rods that be holding these up, so we got that fixed now. Okay, this guy here has got plenty of materials. Once this fills up, the overflow is gonna start moving down the line. Let's go take a look here. How many of these do we have? We have almost 20. You know what? We're gonna keep going until we actually hit our milestone. I think we should start tomorrow off on tier 3. I think that'd be a great idea. I mean, normally I'd like to go no more than anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. But this here, we've really earned the right to have this 2-hour episode. And honestly, now we're just basically waiting around for things to finish. Another question: is that the desert over there? It sure looks like a desert over there. So right now, these are my 3 choices for ore. We're getting ready to add our next one, which will be... This is going to hurt a little bit. Our next one, which should be coal, which is something we're really going to need. We want to start looking up for these other resources as well at this point. We're hitting a point now where we're moving into the mid-tier game. So we got to keep in mind that we need to start finding things like quartz and some of these other resources that we need to research at the MAM. That way we can get explosives and we can free up that 4th mine over there. So I see water over there. I'm wondering if there's any coal in that direction. We got a few minutes. I'm going to drop down and hurt myself again because I can. I mean, yeah, this is going to take another, 10 to 15 minutes to produce the remainder that we need. Let's actually take these rotors downstairs and get them in there. We're not going to hit the tier 3. Oh, that's going to hurt. We're not going to hit our tier 3 unlockable until... So you know what, we'll just go.
Milestone reached. Several buildings aimed at factory traversal can now be accessed in the build menu.
Just keep in mind, if we take a look here at the selected milestone, we have to hit the space elevator. That's our next task now. We've unlocked all the milestones that we need from the hub. Now we have to unlock this phase from over here, which requires 50 of those smart plating, 50 smart plating. So, okay, why are you stopped, huh? What is it you produce? Alright, that makes sense. Have fun with that. Let's go explore over here. I mean, if I look at my map, I really haven't been around that much. I mean, I've seen some things that are further out, like these lakes over here, which I think are by the first spawn, but I'm not sure. And what I'm wondering now is there coal up in this area up here? See, we got water here. And now I'm wondering if there's coal up in here, or coal down in here. Let's go up first. Electrical production from a coal site is our next objective. But that requires two things. It requires one, a source of coal, and two, a source of water that we can actually get a pumping station on. I mean, we've already got the copper sheeting and all that to do it. We've been producing that for a while, and we've kind of been doing that on purpose for a reason. We want to get ahead on those type of productions because we're going to need it. We're definitely going to need that for later power production. Ah! Oh, look at this. Oh, well, let's run away from you for now. Where's your friend? There he is. Come here, come on, come on. These power slugs are great for upgrades. The MAM, if you go to the MAM, you could see how they could be used for upgrades. Okay, I'm not seeing any coal down there. Let's not drop down into the pit of oblivion, shall we? Okay, so we can see up our space elevator is over here. This right here is where I would expect if there's going to be any any coal deposits. That's where I would have them, want them to be, right there next to that beautiful lake. Okay, I hear a hog. I don't see him though.
Harvest.
You can't get up here, sir. Okay, this is one of those resources I was telling you about. This is some quartz. I'm going to dispatch this guy before I take up this quartz.
This mineral shows purity levels akin to synthetic quartz manufactured on Earth and can be used to improve communication and exploration technologies. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
By the time we get back, we're going to have the 50 plates we need. Oh, we got some... Oh, goodness gracious. I'm really not equipped to handling this many of these at once. And there it is. Now they're eating my body. No, let's go collect our tools. Yeah, there was just too many of those in one spot. There's 4 or 5 of them there. That's just too many. I wonder who drew that one up. Because now we got to get back over there. It's not safe. We don't have any tools. We're not going to make any of these new tools right now. I don't really want to. I'm lazy. Hence the name Lazy Engineer. Get back over there, collect them, kill those hogs, and then get back over here. I think that our smart plating should be relatively close to being done. Just remember, we can't slide uphill, so let's just cross this stream. Of course, Tier 3 is going to bring some upgrades. The big one for us that it's going to bring and I really mean this when I say this, the big one it's going to bring is a better club. Okay, so we best just be on our way back to the base. Let's not risk... Okay, so that's where that's hiding. I'll have to come back for that later. Run.
Your contract legally compels you to harvest this artifact.
There's too many of them. We don't want to risk that. Only having 3 bars of health. Let's get back over to the space elevator. Back to the base. And we should hopefully have those 50 smart plating by now. We should have 50 of those.
The mycelia within this fungus suggests strong molecular bonding features frequently observed in adhesives and medicine, both beneficial for field research. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Okay, so we need to eat right now or we're gonna die. Okay. Let's drop down. This might hurt a little bit. Yes, it will. Alright, we should have all the materials we need now to for the smart plating. It should be up to about 45-50 by now, which means that we can now take that over to space elevator and get our tier 3 and close out this episode. We're at 45, so we still need 5 more. And it's producing them as fast as it can, so another 3 minutes and we'll have them. Each we're able to produce 2 per minute. So long as we have a healthy supply of reinforced plate. Let's put those 45 in there. How's concrete production doing? About halfway full on the container, so that's a quarter of our inventory full. This one here, okay. We haven't even opened that one yet. That one's getting close to full. How about the copper sheeting? We have 3 tier here. And we're still up into this tier because this whole time we weren't aware that we had it only going with 1. Got 7 tickets now. Let's put this in the cart, this in the cart, and this in the cart. And that gives us a total of 5. Well, this is not available until we hit tier 3, so oh poop. We'll get it later. And that right there, man, that's perfect. Print them out, please. And now we could think about a stairwell instead of this ladder well on the next episode. Hooray, that's gonna make me a lot happier. Okay, that should be complete now. Let's get up there and have a look. How many rotors do we have up here now? This container is completely empty. This one that's the rotors? This is the plate. 32 rotors, so not too bad. We are getting a small collection up, which is good. We're going to need that for the next progressions. And we have the smart plates. We have them. Let's get on downstairs and get those into the thing, and then we'll call this episode complete. seal the load. And say goodbye to the space elevator. And that will be our screenshot for episode 7. Well, that's all, folks. I think we're going to call it a night. More than likely, I'll see you guys again on Saturday. This episode will be going live Friday, so for you guys that will be tomorrow. For me, that will be 2 days. If you liked this video, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. It really helps me out if you would subscribe. I would much appreciate that. And I'd like to thank you all and wish you to have a pleasant day.